Hello there, everybody watching on the video. How are you doing, everyone? This is a part of the podcast that only people watching on YouTube are going to hear. This will not appear in the audio version. Now, this is the first ever video recorded Heroes of Handheld podcast. Now, this is going to be IndieCast episode 6. And I'm sort of trying something out here. I'm going to film this podcast and see how it goes. And if it looks good and it's successful, I will start recording the main Heroes of Handheld podcast as well. So basically, there's going to be nothing different from the normal podcast here. It's just going to be filmed as well. But normally, with these podcasts, all the podcasts on Heroes of Handheld, they are edited. I produce most of the podcasts, apart from Smashcast, which is produced and recorded by Chris. I edit and record IndieCast and the main Heroes of Handheld podcast. And normally I do a fair bit of editing on them. By that I mean I'll listen through the whole recording and I will make sure that, there's no stupid pauses, there's no weird sounds, there's no interference, and there's no technical issues. And when we record the main Heroes of Handheld podcast, believe me, there can be quite a few technical problems thanks to Skype. We do love you, Skype. So yeah, it's going to be same podcast as normal, except it's been filmed, as I said. And when you hear the theme song to IndieCast, that will indicate that the audio recording has started. By that I mean like the audio podcast form of this podcast will start when the theme song starts. None of this will be on the audio version, which is uploaded to iTunes. And for those of you who've just stumbled across this video, this is IndieCast, part of the Heroes of Handheld podcast. You can find more information about us at heroesofhandheld.com. You can also find us on iTunes, and we like to believe that we are the world's only podcast dedicated to everything PlayStation Vita and Nintendo 3DS. So fun times. So yes, let's get started. I've got a cool setup here. My iPad is connected to my mixer. Right, I'm just going to play the theme. And when you hear that, you know that the podcast is officially starting. Exciting times. And if there's any technical issues through this podcast, I'm not going to cut. I can't edit anything. It's all going to be as live today because I physically can't edit the video to fit with the edited audio. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen, people. So if there's any mistakes, I'm keeping them in, and you can see how much of a fail I am when I record podcasts. Right, let's get started, shall we? Here is the theme, and so let's start. Hello and welcome to episode 6 of IndieCast, the world's only podcast dedicated to everything indie on the PlayStation Vita store. Good times. My name is Colin Byrne and I am your host this evening. And in fact, I'm your host for every single episode. And you'll be excited to hear that this episode of IndieCast is going to be available for you to watch as well. Yes, I recorded myself recording this podcast with video because video is something that the kids like to use these days. So if you search a Heroes of Handheld on YouTube, you will find us. I will put the link on the website heroesofhandheld.com, obviously, and I might even put the link below me here if I'm technically able. Who knows? But anyway, so since it is the first IndieCast since before Christmas, the first IndieCast of 2014, and wouldn't you know it, my phone is ringing whilst I'm doing the podcast. But as I can't edit anything, I'm not editing anything. For people on the audio version of this, you won't know this. But I can't edit anything this week because I'm recording it as well. And I can't physically edit the audio to fit the video. That's just crazy. So my phone is silly, and that's the first rule of podcasting, kids. Always turn off your mobile phone. Right, anyway, we'll kick off. Oh, just to confirm my Vita is here. Vita goodness. Woo, and it's called Crystal Case. Good times. Right, let's begin IndieCast. We could have it play. Oh god, it's already going tits up. Right, that was the first technical issue. All the sounds were playing at once. Thank you, awesome iPad mixer setup. Anyway, that sound means it's time for the news section. And there's been one big indie news story that I wanted to talk about this episode. It was the announcement of a side-scrolling skater game called OlliOlli. That's OlliOlli. No space between that, just OlliOlli. It's getting a PlayStation Vita release date. Now, this is going to be a Vita exclusive. And it's sort of like, if you've ever played the Endless Runners, and I think there's one called Cannabalt. I think that's how you pronounce it. It was an Endless Runner, sort of black and white background, very stylized, very cool. It's one of the first games I bought for my Vita, actually. It looks similar to that. It's basically, but instead of it being running, you're skateboarding. And there's a video here, which I will link in the post for this on the heroesofhandheld.com website. Thumbs up. A little video that gives details of what it's going to look like. It looks very pretty, very pixely. You know, that seems to be the style these days, to make games pixely. Yeah, it looks nice. It says there's over 100 levels, and I think there's something like over 150 different tricks to learn on your skateboard. So yeah, instead of running, you're skateboarding, and it looks quite cool. And you know, Vita exclusives are always cool. And it had a release date. It's going to be released in the North America region on the 22nd of January. That's going to be the release date for North America, and it's going to be the 23rd of January for the UK and Europe and other parts of the world. So not long to wait now. About a week, I think. God, January's going so fast already. It's being developed by Roll7. So yeah, I look forward to that. It's always good having some indie exclusives for the Vita, you know, because the Vita is an indie haven. So yeah, look forward to that. OlliOlli is coming in a few weeks' time. Looks a lot of fun. Right, now let's discuss some reviews, if I can get my iPad to work properly. Right, technical issues, la 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 la. Right, here we go. Okay, we rewind that. Rewind that. There we go. We rewind that. Put back to the beginning, and we press play, and we hope it's going to work. Yay! And that noise means it's time for the review section. Yay. Now, for those of you who follow the main Heroes of Handheld podcast, you will know that I've been mostly obsessed with The Walking Dead on Vita over the past month or so. But recently, I know a big debate for me has been whether it's worth me signing up to PlayStation Plus. Now, I do have a PlayStation Vita, obviously, and I know there's so many awesome games for free on the PlayStation Vita, but I don't have a PS3. And a lot of offers you get with PlayStation Plus also are, you know, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. So I've always been questioning whether it's worth it. Now, recently, Chris, my co-presenter on Heroes of Handheld, he picked up a Vita finally, and he has a PS3, so he's been a member of PlayStation Plus for ages. So he's got all these awesome games. He's got Uncharted, he's got Tearaway, he's got, what else has he got? Guacamelee, all these awesome games that he's got. And it made me think, maybe I should just give PlayStation Plus a try. And I looked on the Vita store, and there was a 2-week free trial to PlayStation Plus, and I thought, why not? If I like it, I'll do the 3 months. If not, I haven't spent any money, so it's all good. And I'm already reaping the benefits, as it were. At the moment, there is Uncharted Golden Abyss, Guacamelee, both for free. And Guacamelee is a game, it recently won Game of the Year on IGN for Vita. And so I've been wanting to pick it up for about a year now, but it's £9.99 in the UK, which I think is quite a lot of money. I always assumed it was a beat-em-up game, but it's not that at all. It's got a good story. It's very pretty. You're basically a Mexican fighter. I mean, if you've ever watched the cartoon Mucha Lucha, it's sort of like that, where you're a masked wrestler and you've got to go around saving everyone because, like, some spirits from the world of the dead have taken over the world of the living. It's really weird, but I've played only about half an hour so far, and I'm really loving it already. It's very pretty. It's very fun. And I'm starting to understand why it's £10, £9.99 in the UK. It's quite a full-fledged game. I assume it's just a beat 'em up, when you go around just keep punching, running, sort of thing. But it's not that at all, and I'm loving it. So at the moment, PlayStation Plus is treating me well. So hopefully that will continue. And as I said, if I, after the 2 weeks decide I want to keep PlayStation Plus, I will sign up to 3 months. So good times. Because as I've got an Xbox, I've got a 360. I have to pay for Xbox Gold as well, which is also quite expensive. So we shall see. But game-wise on the Vita, other than Guacamelee, indie-wise, PlayStation and Sony are doing their festive giveaway still. They're back to doing that, which means they release 2 free PlayStation mobile games every 2 weeks. And I've downloaded both of them. One of them was a very weird platforming game, which was a bit too small. It's really compact on the screen of the Vita, so I decided to put that off. But I did download a game called Bike Rider DX, and I'll show you my Vita so you can see it loading. Bike Rider DX. I'll just put it right up to the camera for those watching on YouTube. It's free with the festive giveaway, and it's fun. I don't know how much it would have been if it weren't free. It seems like the sort of game that'd be a couple of quid, maybe $1 or $2 for you Americans. It's okay. It's you've seen it a million times before. You're a little stick man. You're on a bike. You're riding along, and you've got to jump over stuff and avoid stuff. And as you go through the levels, it gradually gets harder. It's quite addictive. I'll give you that. I'll give them that. There's different stages you can do. I'm on the Alps stage in Switzerland at the moment, which is pretty cool. I'll just give you an idea of like how the game looks when it plays as well. There's the loading screen there, giving you information on what to do. What does that say? World Tour. Oh yeah, right. I'm in the Alps, as you can see. Cool little look there. I have to make sure I don't die. And you push the X button to jump. And that's basically it. You just avoid stuff and that's it, really. It's that simple. And it's a PlayStation mobile game, so there is no touch controls integrated into it. It's just pushing the X button to jump. It's fun, though. I'd recommend, if it's still free, pick it up. But, it's a sort of thing that you've probably played a million times before, and then it seems more suited to mobile platforms. I know Vita is mobile, but I mean like a mobile phone or an iPad or something. It doesn't really do justice to how amazing the Vita is, so maybe give it a miss. So yes, that's my one review this week, and I've also been playing King Oddball, which is the new game from 10 Tons, and I'll be writing up a full review of that on the website, and I'll also be mentioning that on the main Heroes of Handheld podcast, which should be out in the next few days, because I want to do quite a big review for that. And that's spoiler. King Oddball is fun. It's very fun. So if you've got it on your store, I say pick it up. Right, let's move on, shall we? And I'll try and play another sound through my iPad. Hopefully this will run smoothly. I'm talking whilst I load my iPad up because my iPad keeps locking itself. Thumbs up. Right, okay, I'm going to rewind and let's see if this plays. Go away, no, go away notifications. Here we go. There we go. Yay! So we've come to the end of IndieCast episode 6, the first ever IndieCast that has been, video recorded as well. And if this looks good, if the camera quality's okay, if the syncing up is pretty simple, I will think about recording the main Heroes of Handheld podcast as well. I just have to make sure Chris can record his as well because he has internet that is run by a hamster in a wheel. It's that bad. That's why I have to edit the main podcast so much, because we'll be in the middle of a conversation he'll cut out, and it takes about 10 minutes to get him back again. So it's not smooth sailing as it must sound in my amazing edits. Good times. But thank you for listening to episode 6. As always, you can find us on Twitter. That's Handheld Podcast on Twitter. Follow us. We like to mention stuff on there. All the posts we do on the website automatically get loaded to our Twitter. You can go to heroesofhandheld.com, our website, where you can find reviews, all the backlog of podcasts, and much more. What else? Or you can email us. There's 2 email addresses. It's either heroesofhandheld@gmail.com or it is feedback@heroesofhandheld.com. So that's heroesofhandheld@gmail.com or feedback@heroesofhandheld.com. Either one will get us. We'd love to hear from you. And also you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Just search Heroes of Handheld and you'll find all our podcasts, including IndieCast and Smashcast. I will be back in a few days for the Heroes of Handheld main podcast with Christopher Pearson, so we look forward to that. But for now, thank you for listening, everybody. And now, as this is all done as live, and you can see how a bit of a train wreck it's been so far, let's see if this works. I'm clicking the theme end button. No, that's not. There we go. Right, so yeah, as I said, I'll be back in the next few days with the Heroes of Handheld main podcast, which I look forward to. We'll be discussing handheld goodness, and obviously we'll be talking about the 3DS as well, rather than just the Vita. And update on my because Chris bought a Vita, I'm feeling more pressure on myself to buy a 2DS, and I'll discuss the update on that, because I came close to buying one the other day. I know you're excited to hear what happened. So yes, until next time, people, enjoy playing your PlayStation Vita, your Nintendo 3DS, your Nintendo 2DS or Vita 2000, and I will speak to you in a few days. Bye bye.